Our News is brought to you by Alive.
Tonight on Our News, the CPSA president puts government on blast. The PLP ratifies 7 more candidates, plus conch poisoning cases hurting business on Potter's Key. Welcome to Our News and thanks for joining us. I'm Christina Dragovich. Topping news tonight, Consultant Physician Staff Association President Dr. Sabrika Pinder-Butler putting the government on blast tonight, saying it's turning a blind eye to the COVID-19 situation in the country. She warns the failure to consult with the association on the way forward could have detrimental effects. Kyle Joaquin has more.
We spoke with the CPSA president today, who said she's worried because it appears health officials aren't listening and she fears what could happen as a result.
If your healthcare system crashes, your country will also crash.
Dr. Sabrika Pinder-Butler says despite an agreement reached a few weeks ago to meet twice a month, the CPSA has still not been brought to the table to help the Ministry of Health in the fight against COVID-19. And she said it's not helping the situation as the country continues through its third wave of cases, with 56 confirmed cases on New Providence alone on Wednesday.
We went into the meeting hoping that, we had this renewed commitment that things would happen. And again, nothing. So very disappointing, the morale of our staff. And I think the staff in general in health is low and perhaps in other places.
The CPSA president says even the decision to allow fully vaccinated people to enter the country without a RT-PCR test was not a good one. She said she feels the government is moving too fast with relaxing those types of restrictions, which Pan American Health Organization officials strongly advised against on Wednesday.
I think that, when you are prepared to put your guard down, you have to also show that you are prepared to be able to move very quickly and have the support should you need to make that change. And unfortunately, we have not been able to see that happen in country. And so that is concerning for us.
Pinder-Butler says what makes matters worse is the shortage of healthcare professionals in the public healthcare system. She said the treatment doctors and nurses receive in the country is pushing more of them to leave and make their living in a foreign land.
We have physicians that have not been given contracts. We have persons who have left because, again, as I said, the morale is low. We're not getting responses even from, our own leaders. They know that. So they're tired of all of these things.
She said even as vaccinations ramp up, it is still critical that government engages the healthcare professionals on the ground, dealing with the pandemic hands-on.
I think our health team and our government in general really needs to take a look at what is happening in country and stop playing a blind eye that it has disappeared. It has not disappeared. And if we don't fix it soon, all of us are going to be in a very, very serious situation.
For Our News, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
Well, a former cabinet minister was among 7 candidates ratified by the Progressive Liberal Party last night. Obi Wilshcombe secured the nomination for West Grand Bahama and Bimini and hopes to reclaim the seat he lost 4 years ago. Bethany McDermott reports.
Former Cabinet Minister Obi Wilshcombe among 7 candidates ratified by the Progressive Liberal Party. While stressing the importance of the process, Wilshcombe said he had no doubt he would be nominated.
I thought once we went through the democratic process and I saw the results, I had no doubt. But of course, it's a process and people are entitled to their views, and you have a committee and members asked me questions, and they wanted to be certain that they were making a decision notwithstanding your past and all that you have done.
Wilshcombe was ratified for West Grand Bahama and Bimini, a seat he lost in the 2017 general election to sitting MP Pakeisha Parker Edgecombe by 263 votes after serving 3 terms in Parliament. Wilshcombe also threw his hat in the race for PLP chairman back in 2018, but lost to Fred Mitchell by more than 460 votes. Back then, PLP leader Philip Davis said Wilshcombe could not and would not win the race for chairman.
Of course, some people get upset. That's just the way it is. But there are those of us who are bigger than that, and we don't hold gripes or anger. I certainly don't. I'm married to the philosophy of the Progressive Liberal Party. My relationship with the leadership of the party is excellent. I'm working very closely with the leader of our party and all those who are in the leadership to cause for us to be the next government.
The former tourism minister also hit back at critics who say it's time for new faces in Parliament.
Any organization would have the new faces and will have some of the veterans. And the veterans are there simply to help in the building of the organization. We bring experience, we bring knowledge, we bring a certain degree of education that we pass on, and we'll cause for our people to be better. You cannot have a government just with a whole bunch of new faces.
The other ratified candidates include Patricia DeVoe for Bambootown, Kurt Hollingsworth for Marco City, Leon Lundy for Mangrove Key, South and Central Andros, Ginger Moxie for Pine Ridge, James Roll Turner for East Grand Bahama, and Kirk Russell for Central Grand Bahama. Wilchcombe detailed a number of plans he has for his old constituency, including the transformation of West Grand Bahama, eradicating poverty, and education. South Abaco is the only constituency the PLP has yet to name a candidate for. Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
2 Florida senators are expressing their objection to exploratory drilling in the Bahamas, urging U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken to engage the Bahamas government to ensure both countries are prepared to respond should an oil spill occur. Berthany McDermott has that.
The letter signed by Senators Mark Rubio and Rick Scott reads, "We urge you to engage with the Bahamian government to facilitate discussions between the United States Coast Guard, which is the primary American agency tasked with responding to maritime oil spills, and their Bahamian counterparts to ensure that our nations are prepared to respond jointly to any oil spill threats that may occur during any future exploratory oil drilling in sovereign Bahamian waters." It's a warning, Save the Bay's Executive Chairman Joe Darville said government ought to listen to.
That we would be extremely foolish if we did not pay serious 100% heed to what the authorities are saying in Florida.
The letter comes more than a week after Bahamas Petroleum Company announced plans to secure an extension for its licenses. This would be the third extension application by BPC, this time for 3 years. The senator said in the letter, although BPC has reportedly determined that this site is not viable for additional drilling, it is our understanding that additional leases in Bahamian waters, some just 50 miles from Florida's shores, are still valid through 2026. While there are no indications of imminent drilling at these other locations, Floridians are rightly concerned by the possibility of additional oil exploration so close to Florida's shores.
I salute them, and I call upon our authorities to make a definite decision and to announce it. I don't care what permits they may have that needs to be renewed and all the rest.
BPC's licenses expire in June, and the application for extension had to be submitted 3 months in advance. When asked for comment, Attorney General Carl Bethel told the Nassau Guardian the matter is being put before Cabinet to discuss.
I am appealing to them to change their mind and their heart set and to get out there publicly and say that in the future, whether you're going to run for the PLP or whether you're going to run for the FNM or whatever political entity, that you are categorically opposed to oil drilling.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
Hot and humid as we creep closer to the weekend. Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with the details.
Thanks, Christine, and a happy Thursday evening, everybody. We got some action across the New Providence area with some severe thunderstorm warnings issue we'll talk about in a short while. But outside our studios, we're a little bit on the humid side. Partly cloudy, 77 degrees is our current temperature with just a few isolated showers in the vicinity. Your winds are out of the southwest ahead of a front that's now across North Florida. Satellite view, showers and thunderstorms popping up across the northwest Bahamas associated with that prefrontal trough moving in. So we are going to continue to see some showers and isolated thunderstorms continuing throughout the rest of the evening and into tonight. That's your first look at weather. Your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come on our news, conch poisoning cases killing business on Potter's Key. Plus, fully vaccinated visitors welcome eased travel restrictions. The details after this.
Every new season of On the Record, we push the limits. Venture into unknown territory. We take our cameras into places unseen before. We share the stories and experiences that affect us all. And now it's time for Season 5. On the Record, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on RTV Cable Channel 212 and streaming live on Facebook on the R News Bahamas page.
Recent cases of conch poisoning are killing business at Potters Key Dock, according to vendors. They were warned today that their stalls could be shut down if they fail to implement the necessary health protocols. Jasmine Brown reports.
We will be coming around to do inspections of your facilities. And if anyone is found to not be engaging in best practices, we will shut you down.
The warning came from Bahamas Agricultural Health Safety and Authority Director for Food Safety and Quality, Dr. Patricia Johnson, who was part of a food handling and preparation seminar that was put on in response to reports of conch poisoning in recent weeks. At least 21 cases of conch poisoning have been confirmed at Princess Margaret Hospital. It is unclear if cases were confirmed at other healthcare centers. During the seminar, Johnson called for vendors to wash conch with fresh water, sanitize and clear their workspaces, wear aprons and hairnets, and properly store raw and cooked food. She also dished out advice about personal hygiene.
You need to make sure that when you come to work, you take a bath. When you come to work, I know you say, oh yeah, why say that? You know, of course you're going to take a bath. Some people don't. That's the plain in and out about it. Make sure the clothes that you wear are clean and fresh. Don't wear the clothes from yesterday. Don't do it. You know, because we all have a body odor that we have to get rid of every day. We got to take a bath.
Vendors who attended the conch cleaning demo say the outbreak of conch poisoning has hurt business.
Tremendous decrease of sales. You know, some places might say they could sell 1 or 2 conch salads. Well, I must say that in the last few days, I haven't sold any.
Sales are down. I mean, the conch poisoning, it's affect Potters Dock. It always affect Potters Dock the worst.
William Roll, who operates Big Sunny Stall, said his business has not recovered since the start of the pandemic.
From COVID start, that really is what caused the major problem. The lockdowns is what caused the business to decrease, because when it comes to conch poisoning on Potters Key Dock, we hardly get a large impact on, let's say, business to stop. But because the people can't move around like how they want to, that's probably why we are getting less business.
A lot of vendors we spoke to believe the conch contamination is due to improper storage. Now, those BAFSA officials say this stop here at Potters Key today is just one of 4 that they plan on carrying out over the next few weeks. Reporting for our news, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Well, international travelers are taking full advantage of relaxed restrictions for fully vaccinated visitors. Jillian Gray spoke with a few tourists as they arrived today.
Over 2,000 visitors arrived at Lynden Pinling International Airport on Thursday. Many of them, like Tampa healthcare worker Lauren and Orlando resident Jody, say the relaxed restrictions for vaccinated persons made coming to the Bahamas a no-brainer.
I agree with it. I think that you guys are trying to stay safe, and I'm used to wearing a mask all day long at work, so wearing a mask here and, filling out all the information. I'm vaccinated, so, it was pretty easy for me.
It seems safe. They definitely are taking the chances to either make sure people are vaccinated or they have negative tests to come over here, and they check multiple times on the airlines and coming through the airport.
Both Lauren and Jody are fully vaccinated, and so is Florida resident John. He and his wife are here for 4 nights. While he says he did not mind following COVID-19 protocols, getting the travel visa was an arduous task.
I think it was very hard, difficult, and made it very tough for us to process it. My wife waited on the phone almost 6 hours. And then she was the last, there was like 300 people in front of her, and then she was disconnected right when it was her time. So we actually had to call the hotel to help us get our passport. It was actually kind of crazy.
Miami resident Tyler Wine, who will be in Nassau for 3 nights, is not vaccinated and had to take a COVID-19 test. He says he didn't mind, though, as he feels it's time for people to resume travel.
I think the less restrictions, the better. I think it's time to open everything up and get back to business everywhere.
And when we asked what they were most looking forward to, the answer was the same.
The beach.
The beach. Yeah, relaxing.
It's my first trip in a year and a half, so I'm excited to come here and enjoy it.
This uptick in travel is good news for tourism stakeholders. These taxi cab drivers say they're happy to be moving again.
And I'm very optimistic, and I think from here on out, we should see really good business, even though things are not the way it was, and it's going to take a while to get there. However, I can see that we're going to have a busy summer.
Even though there was a negative from countries about the Bahamas. Tourists are feeling very comfortable coming to this country because of the things that we have in place.
Now, taxi cab drivers say they're hoping that the steady stream of tourists continues throughout the summer months. They say they're hoping to at least recoup some of the funds that they would have lost throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. Reporting for our news, I'm Jillian Gray.
Governor General Sir Cornelius Smith getting his second dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine at Loyola Hall today. He stressed the importance of Bahamians getting the jab.
What I'm looking forward to is that other Bahamians, all Bahamians, decide that they would want to come and make sure that they get vaccinated. They make sure that we can open up our country so that our economy begins to tick again, that there are more jobs become available, and we have both a healthy country and a country where everybody is fully employed.
Still to come, Alive and Junior Achievers celebrating excellence, plus the season winding down for Bahamian hoop stars. The details after this.
Every new season of On the Record, we push the limits. Venture into unknown territory. We take our cameras into places unseen before. We share the stories and experiences that affect us all. And now it's time for Season 5. On the Record, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on RTV Cable Channel 212 and streaming live on Facebook on the R News Bahamas page.
This is our news. Welcome back. One of 3 most distinguished junior achievers receiving a $3,500 scholarship from Alive today. Junior achievers had to create a business plan, and Kershay Smith won 3rd place with her detailed plan for Serenity Bakery.
Definitely overcoming the virtual environment was a challenge in itself, but through hard work, dedication, and through God's help, I think that all things are possible, and I'm very thankful for the opportunity.
Alive Marketing Operations Manager Kendanique Campbell-Moss says they were happy to partner with JA.
The youth, of course, is extremely important in education, virtual platforms, making sure that education is accessible to all. And this particular young lady met the requirements, and she met all of our 4 pillars. And of course, this is extremely important for us in terms of education, technology, and what we bring to the table at Alive.
JA Program Assistant Tanae Hanna says partnerships like this one help to mold future leaders. And in sports, things are winding down in the regular season for 2 NBA stars. Marcellus Hall has more.
All right, thanks a lot, Christina. Welcome to our sports, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall. Regular season in the NBA is winding down, and quite suddenly, the Sacramento Kings are playing like a team possessed. Too bad it won't matter, because when the regular season ends, so ends the year for the Sacramento Kings. Last night, taking on some teams over the course of the next couple of days with 2 games left. Here's how they're looking so far. 7-3 in their last 10 games. The Sacramento Kings were in action yesterday playing the OKC Thunder. And let's just say they've owned the Thunder throughout the course of their season. 122-106 ends up being the final score. Buddy with another solid performance, 21 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists. And the Kings are looking good, as we said, winding down the year. Their next game will come your way when they play up against the Memphis Grizzlies. That comes your way on Thursday, and that'll be their next to the last game. How about DeAndre Ayton and the Phoenix Suns? Golden State Warriors were their opponent. This was also last night, and Golden State, the night before last, Golden State Warriors taking down the Phoenix Suns 122-116. Phoenix struggling a bit as the season ends up, but they're currently still sitting solidly in second place in the Western Conference. Their next game comes your way on Thursday as well, when they take on the Portland Trailblazers. DeAndre, in case you're wondering, 8 points, 8 rebounds. That came in that losing cause. And like we said, Phoenix right now trying to get themselves back into a rhythm as they get nearer and nearer to the playoffs. And so there it is, your check on sports for you this Thursday. Don't forget to check out another episode of The Locker Room, which comes your way tomorrow. Got a great show lined up for you. Hope you guys enjoy it. I'm Marcellus Hall. Back to you, Christina.
Thanks, Marcellus. Still to come, Greg is back in the Weather Center, plus inside Hands for Hunger's new pantry. Stay tuned.
Please be advised that REV has commenced mass disconnection exercises for all accounts with outstanding balances of 90 days or more. Delinquent account holders are advised to pay their bill immediately to avoid service interruption. Simply call us on 605-PAYS or WhatsApp 829-PAYS to make payments or to discuss payment options. Failure to do so will result in service disconnection. To view and pay your bill online anytime, simply visit my.rev.bs.
Welcome back to our news. Partly sunny conditions ahead. Greg is back in the Weather Center with the latest.
Thanks again, Christina, and a happy Thursday evening, everybody. Once again, a satellite view showing activity across the North Florida and the northern Bahamas as the front boundary continues to sag south. That front extends out of the Atlantic across North Florida and into the Gulf of Mexico. Showers and thunderstorms ahead of the front affecting the northwest Bahamas, prompting the Department of Meteorology to issue a few severe thunderstorm warning earlier today. We expect those showers and thunderstorms to continue to push towards the south. That front should get into the northwest Bahamas late tonight and into tomorrow, so some more showers expected in your forecast. Boating forecast for the northwest Bahamas tonight through tomorrow. Your winds will shift towards the north and northeast once that front goes through. 10 to 15 knots expected to be your winds, 2 to 4 foot seas. While in the central and southeast Bahamas, we expect a small craft caution to be in effect. Southeast to south, 15 to 20 knots, seas will be running 4 to 6 feet over the ocean. Here's a look now at your national forecast. A look now at your extended forecast through Tuesday. Some showers and isolated thunderstorms expected tomorrow, and then breezy conditions for the beginning of next week. Back to you, Christina.
Thanks, Greg. Hands for Hunger officially opening its new Carmichael Road pantry. Giorgio Bain takes a look.
Thank you, everyone. The Hands for Hunger team expanding its operations today with the opening of its pantry. The team that has been heavily involved in the country's National Food Distribution Task Force has decided to take its efforts one step further, according to Executive Director Keisha Ellis.
This new location is very important. We actually saw in our research that there were a number of people seeking help from us from this Carmichael area. And so we thought that this would be a really good place for us to really get into the heart of the community that's asking us for help. So what we want to do with this pantry is really increase assistance to individual families, not so much through our agencies.
Fresh vegetables, canned goods, and dietary staples line the new pantry shelves. Located in the Shops Plaza, Carmichael Road, it also features a frozen food section. While national food distribution is expected to come to an end June 30th, Ellis says the need for food assistance will not magically disappear. That's where organizations such as Hands for Hunger will come in.
I think that there will definitely still be a need past June, and I'm really excited to see what other innovative ways we can begin to address this now long-term food insecurity that's been caused by COVID-19. You know, the numbers remain high, but the names of the people that are on the distribution list, that's changing, because what we're finding is that there were some people that had a very hard time at the start of the pandemic but are now finding their footing.
Those in need of assistance from the pantry are asked to visit the website handsforhunger.org/pantry. Ellis assures that confidentiality is a key part of their mandate.
The reason why we started this food pantry is because we believe in the dignity of everyone that comes to us seeking help.
Reporting for our news, I'm Giorgio Bain.
Well, thank you for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Christina Dragovich. Have a beautiful evening, Bahamas. On the Record with Jerome Sawyer starts right now.